When you're planning to start your new knitting project, how do you choose yarn for it? Do you go for something you've already used before and you know is tried and true? Or you look for some new options, maybe rummaging through other projects on Ravelry, trying to get inspired by what people used and try something new? No matter which of those two types of knitter you are, there's a high chance you're missing out on the newly released yarns because they are generally slower to appear on our feeds on Ravelry, because in order for projects with it to appear there, people need to actually start finishing projects with this yarn. So today I want to talk to you about some new yarns on the market that just appeared this year. Okay, I'll start with two things. First of all, very sorry about my voice. You can hear that it's very stuffed. I am still quite sick, but I really needed to make this video this week to not break my schedule, so we are working with what we have. All the nose sprays were sprayed. All the anti-sore throat pills were taken. We're holding strong. Second of all, I wanted to remind you about a giveaway that my dear friend Nadya from Fingernemt is currently having on Instagram and TikTok. If you follow her on one of her socials and comment on the giveaway post saying which kit you would like to win, you would be able to win a kit for my Parrot Love beret design or a kit for her lovely design of this cute beret with Celtic Hearts cables. The kit includes all the yarn you need to make the pattern and the pattern itself, printed out on a good paper and in a very cute way. I designed my pattern to be printed in the most bright pink way as possible, and I stand by this decision. So head over to Fingernemt's socials and comment on her video to get into this giveaway. Now let's start with the new yarns. I know that normal people usually leave something most interesting for last, but I can't wait that long. The first yarn I want to discuss with you guys is the one I've been super exciting ever since it's got announced. It's a new yarn by Filcolana, and it's called Filcolana Mesh Dale. It's a mix of 25% meshel wool and 75% Corriedale wool. Why am I so excited about it? First of all, I am a little bit tired to see that most wool on the current market is merino. Merino is very soft, don't get me wrong, but sometimes you just want to try something new. And lately, since I started spinning yarns, I've tried different fibers, I've touched them, and understood how much cooler it is to actually have different textures in your yarn, being able to work with them and see how different the stitches will look like, how different it will hold out throughout the time. But unfortunately, on the current market, there are not that many types of wool present in the yarns that are being sold. So the fact that finally we have like a bigger company produce yarn with Corriedale in it, and I love Corriedale. I've spun it before, it's fun, it's very exciting to me. Now, the two main claims that the company does are, first of all, that the yarn is rustic, but at the same time, it's soft. Now, it's one of the claims I would really like to check by myself. Unfortunately, I wasn't able yet because my local yarn store is expecting this yarn but hasn't received it yet, so I am waiting. If you know me, I really like the feeling of rustic wool, but also I have a very sensitive skin, so there are a lot of different types of knits that I can't make with rustic wools just because it's gonna touch my sensitive areas. So I really want to see how much soft it is for rustic wool. In my opinion, since it's a blend of Corriedale, which is quite a rustic yarn, like Corriedale is quite prickly, with Masham, which is supposed to be quite soft. I kind of feel like Masham could have filled in the fibers between Corriedale fiber, so kind of like intertwine, they can make something more smooth. So it is interesting to try. I would really like to touch it with my hands. Gun Cafe magazine, please, please, please get the yarn soon enough. I can't wait. Now the second claim, and it's not really a claim, it's just a technical specification, but it makes it very interesting, is that they only color one part of yarn. So in the production process, they do dye the Corriedale part, but the Mesham old one stays its original untouched brown color. So in the end, you can see this, not a gradient of color, but more of natural wool peeking through the colored one. So it's supposed not to give a marbled effect, but kind of give more depth to the garment you're making. But it's all in theory because there are only a few samples of it made. On Filcolana's socials, there are a few designs from Popknit and other designers coming out with Meshdale for this launch. So we'll see how it goes, and I'm really excited about this one. Now going back to my claim that most of the yarn on the market is merino, is actually another merino, but this one is, I find it intriguing. The one I'm talking about is Rauma Lun Merino. It's 100% carded merino, and it's supposed to be super lightweight and soft. The two claims that Rauma makes about this yarn is that it's, first of all, super lightweight and super soft. And to be more precise, I say it's skin soft. So I wonder what my sensitive girl is gonna say about it. And number two is that it's perfect for babies. So it's so soft that even babies won't find it irritating. Now, first of all, it's always nice to have a new yarn that is suitable for babies on the market, because I know how many of you like to knit for your babies or babies of your friends and family around you. So it's a very interesting claim that I would like to research more, because knowing Rauma, their yarns are genuinely very nice and genuinely very soft. So if they focus on it being super soft, I wonder how soft can it be? This yarn goes in 16 colors. The only problem is that it's gonna be costly, because in 25 grams balls you get 120 meters, and one ball costs 10 euros. So for baby knit, yeah, but for myself, I probably wouldn't go for this yarn. A little bit too pricey for me to go on just the carded merino, you know? But a new yarn in the same price range that I would totally go for myself is Kid Cotton by Kremke. Now, this one sounds super exciting to me because I saw their promotions on Instagram and they're saying a lot of cool stuff about this yarn. First of all, let's talk about the fiber construction. It's 65% mohair and 35% cotton. What is unique is that they claim the construction of this yarn is quite cool, because I can't find another nice word to explain it. Basically, they're claiming that in the production process, they're having a cotton core thread, right? And usually the mohair is just spun as it is already brushed into the thread. That's why it sheds, and that's why it can be a bit more prickly. But Kremke is saying that they are adding mohair in loops. So first the yarn starts as a core thread with a lot of loops. And then after it's already been spun and done, they use a machine to brush out the hairs from the loops into the brushed state. So they are claiming that that kind of prevents the shedding, and that also makes the yarn softer and more close to skin friendly. Now, if you know me, there's only one mohair in the whole world that I can use, and it is Isea silk mohair, because all other mohairs for me are too prickly. I am a sensitive girly, sorry. But this also means that I'm very excited to try this yarn, because this sounds like something that could maybe fix my problem with mohair being too prickly. And it's the same price as Lun Merino, which is interesting for such a unique yarn construction, as they claim to be not that expensive. I'm very happy about it. What's even more exciting is that this yarn comes in 21 colors, which is very good for mohair, because usually it's a following thread that you use with something. You hold it with something. So it's good to be able to match it to the project you're working in, like to the main yarn. So 21 colors is pretty decent for the first release of this yarn. Another one in the mohair department is already a bit of an oldie, because I think out of all the yarns I'm talking about today, it's the oldest to already be released to the market. I think they released it either in January or maybe like in the end of December. I don't remember the date of the release. I just remember when it started popping up on my feed, and it's Senna's Garn Primo Toon Silk Mohair. So all of us know the Toon Silk Mohair. It is not bad, but it is quite spicy for a lot of us who can't have scratch yarns next to skin. So Senna's claimed that this yarn, even though it's much more expensive than the previous version of Mohair, is actually skin soft and is actually super soft, not prickly at all. Now, while I don't trust it being not prickly at all, because it's mohair, it can't be not prickly at all, I would like to see how it goes, because like I am very intrigued with whatever I will find there. Because I would like to see how much different it is from their usual Toon Silk Mohair. The only thing stopping me from trying is that for a 25-gram ball of 212 meters, you pay 16.7 euros. At that point, I would rather buy a Isea that I already know that works. And also the color range is not that great. 15 colors doesn't sound like something impressive for Senna's to do. I know they have a lot of yarns that they just released and have much better color range. So if you've tried it before, let me know. Is it really that soft? I really think that at this point, since it's May already, a lot of people should have tried it. So if you are one of those people who have tried Primo Toon Silk Mohair, please tell us in the comments if you liked it or not. Quick intervention. If there is a new yarn that just came out in the last half a year and it's not on my list, please share with us in the comments what yarn it is, what kind of experience you've had with it, if you did, and if you just want to get it, tell us why. What's so cool about this? Because in this list I'm focusing on the yarns that I am personally excited about or brands that I personally love. So I really would like to find out more yarns. Please help me out in the comments. Okay, the next one will be interested for those of you who are super rich. Every time I see prices on Noro yarns, I feel humiliated a little bit, because in no world can I afford buy Noro. But their new yarn is quite exciting. It's called Noro Mibuki. It's 40% silk, 30% wool, and 30% viscose. If you ask me, it sounds like a perfect blend for a summer yarn that you will use without actually suffering through the consequences of using plant-based yarn, because it has some wool fibers in it that make it a little bit stretch and gives it a little bit of a give. Gives a little bit of a give. I'm so good with words, huh? Now, as always with Noro, the colors are absolutely stunning. I saw a few projects in this yarn. It is self-striping. It's gorgeous. Most of the colors remind me of some Miyazaki movies, and I'm obsessed. Now about the price. I mean, you're getting a lot for the price you pay, right? So like, you're paying $60 for 150 grams. So it's as if you bought 3 skeins of 50 grams for $20 each. And it's hand-dyed. Yeah, no, I can justify that. But I ain't gonna lie, it looks gorgeous as always. So if you have the means, please try it and tell all of us brokies how it feels, because it feels like a yarn that would be a dream summer yarn. Now we have a yarn to talk about that is not ridiculously priced, but also not in the cheap segment at all. But it also sounds like something interesting. It's a new blown yarn from Rico Design called Luxury Pima Cotton X Baby Lepaka. I must say that this name is so long that I don't know why they would do that. But it's 55% Pima cotton, which is one of the softest cottons in the world, 28% alpaca, and 17% wool. Now, when I saw this fiber composition, the last thing I thought of that is that it would be a blown yarn, because like there's a lot of cotton in it, right? Like more than a half. But apparently it is a blown yarn, and it also has some nice claims about it being extra soft and also very breathy. Now, I wouldn't call anything that has almost 30% alpaca in it and almost 20% of wool in it a summer yarn, even if it's a blown yarn. But I would be interested to try it, to make something like a lightweight blouse for maybe a transitional period, like for the beginning of autumn and maybe spring. The only problem is that they only have 8 colors, so it doesn't really let you have your creativity shine and doesn't give you too much inspiration. What does give you a lot of inspiration is the next one, and I'm super excited to try this one. I really want to get it. I think I will closer to the summer. And it's the new one by Concept by Katia, and it's called Cotton Camel. It's 60% cotton, 30% wool, and 10% camel. Now, I have not ever touched camel yarn before, but from what I know from other people who has used something with camel yarn in it, it's supposed to give both softness and structure to something you're using with. Why am I so excited about this yarn? First of all, it's a very nice blend of cotton with something that will give it a stretch. I love that for my summer garments. Second of all, judging by the pictures I found of garments worked in this yarn, it gives insanely beautiful stitch definition. Like, I don't think I've seen other summer yarns with the high percentage of cotton in it that gives such a nice stitch definition. It might be also because it's a thicker yarn a little bit. I'd say it's closer to DK, but I kind of feel like it's gonna be a perfect yarn for like a summer cardigan to wear in the evening. What's even better is that the price is, well, not like affordable, but much more affordable than anything we've talked about today. It's 6.5 euros or $7.5 for a yarn that's gonna be, in my opinion, soft and sturdy at the same time. I'd say that's a nice price. They have 13 colors and they promote it as a transitional yarn, which is exactly what I'm thinking, like cardigan for colder evenings or like for the end of spring. Another summer yarn I really am excited about, but I'm not sure I will be able to get it in Denmark because I don't think we have shops that actually sell it. I've never seen them, at least. It's Fildar Fil Bamboo Silk. It's 53% bamboo rayon. For some reason on the ball it says just viscose, but in the description it's bamboo rayon. 47% silk. Classic plant-based yarn composition. It's lightweight, it's thin, it's 9 euros per ball. I would say it's also a perfect summer yarn for someone who loves to work with plant fibers. The only thing that drives me insane is that it's only 6 colors. And none of them were inspiring to me, so I appreciate the effort though. But for those of you who prefer to have at least 10 color options in your summer yarn and also would like to work with plant-based yarns more, we have a new yarn from the yarn giant Lana Grossa, who came out with Tenselino yarn with 51% linen and 49% tencel, which you could have gotten from the name because, you know, Tenselino, they love their puns, don't they? I love them too. It also sounds like a perfect summer blend that will make the most lightweight, drapey fabric you can ever imagine. Though judging by the fact that they recommend using 4mm needles, I would say that it's closer to DK. The thing is though, I know that a lot of people say that only fingering weight yarns can give you the proper summer garment. I made a few t-shirts in Sannes Ganline, which is DK/worsted weight yarn, and I've never been hot on them because natural plant-based fibers give you a lot of wind to go through it, and also they kind of give you the cooling feeling by themselves. So I wouldn't be scared of the weight of this yarn. And they have 18 colors and they cost €5 per ball. So this one is also going on my shopping list in the summer. Even though I have too much yarn, I just want to try to make something out of it because I'm too intrigued. I really want to try it. Now I have 3 yarns that are on a weird spectrum. One of them is, I would say, more of an expansion to already existing yarn than a new yarn completely. It's Camero's watercolor. Basically, they took Sneefnak, one of the most popular blown yarns on the market, and added 8 colorways that give this mild coloring effect to the tube as well as fibers inside the tube. So you get this like kind of watercolor marbling on the yarn and on the garment you're making with it. I'd say it's quite exciting because I am a big fan of Camarosa Sneefnak. It's amazing. It's extremely soft. I made a hat for my sister in it, and it's been a pleasure. It's such a soft yarn. If you know how much I hate drops air, now turn the spectrum to the opposite side, that's how much I love Sneefnak. So apparently I don't hate blown yarns, I just hate drops air. So this would be very good option to try if you are just tired of Camarosa's like usual colorways for Sneefnak. But I wouldn't call it a unique yarn. For me, it's just a color expansion. I know I said we have 3 yarns, but then I realized I couldn't find anything on one of them, so it's gonna go to the next episode of these like yarn roundups. So I'm afraid it's the last one, and the worst part is that I don't know anything about this yarn. Why would I add it here? Because it's an exciting one. Unfortunately, I literally can't find any proper info on it because the seller's website is down. I don't see it in any other shops yet, so I think it's not released yet, but like almost. And it's Varf by Hunner O'Hare. I'm not sure that's how you pronounce it, but it's the Swedish brand that is making a proudly Swedish yarn that they mill in Sweden, so it's completely Swedish. And their Nutilen yarn is very popular in the yarn community. But now they're coming up with a new one called Varf, which is 100% boucle wool. Now the most interesting thing is the description of this yarn on Ravelry, because apparently it comes in different sizes. So in a 100-gram bowl you can have either 90, 60 or 30 meters. Now, I don't know which one of you crazy people would like to buy yarn that is 30 meters in 100 gram. But if for some reason you wanted that, now you'll have an option. And I really like how the recommended needle size goes from 4.5 to 8. But judging by the pictures from the booklet of project that comes with this yarn, it's a very pretty boucle yarn and it looks super soft and fluffy. I would like to touch it. I'm not sure I will have any reason to use it though. So it's something I would just like to do in a yarn store, but I don't think we have this brand anywhere in Denmark. So unless I travel to Sweden, there's no chance for me to actually check it out. So if you are from Sweden, let me know if you saw this yarn and touched it, because I don't have any info on it. I'm sad. And that's pretty much it. Now, as I said, I only focused on the brands I know and love, and I didn't really go into small brands. Otherwise, it would be a full-on Fingernemt ad again, because I love my friend's yarns, and I'm very excited about all the new stuff she has in her store. But also, I did not go for all the smaller brands that we have a lot of here and in other countries, just because they are generally less available for my vast majority of the audience, because some yarns are very local to one country and can't really be found in other countries. So I try to focus on those who are more generally spread out, other than the last one, because it's Swedish from Sweden and Sweden only. But let's see. So once again, if you have any other new yarns that you know that just came out, please let us know in the comments. I'm very nosy. I want to know everything about new yarns. And let me know if any of the yarns I was talking about are piquing your interest a little bit. Maybe you would like to try some of them. Let me know, because I am excited about all of them, and I really hope that you're gonna share my excitement. Now, if you like this video, please consider pressing the like button or maybe subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And if by any chance you're watching from your mobile phone, please consider pressing the hype button, the new feature from YouTube that allows you to hype up. It doesn't cost you anything. It's basically just a mechanism to help the algorithm push more smaller creators into the algorithm, you know? So if you have a hype button and you think this video was hype enough, I would really appreciate this. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.